Welcome back. Today we're looking at something I think a lot of us use, short-term rentals. Platforms like Airbnb.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. Super convenient, often cheaper than hotels. Feels a bit more like you're living like a local, maybe.
Exactly. But that convenience, that feeling of being welcomed into someone's space, well, it relies entirely on trust, doesn't it?
It really does. Trust in the platform, trust in the reviews, trust in the person whose home you're staying in or the person you're letting into your home.
And usually it works out fine. But tonight we're diving into 3 true stories where that trust was completely terrifyingly broken. These aren't just bad stays. These are, vacations from hell.
Yeah, these stories really expose the vulnerability that comes with opening up private spaces to strangers. It goes way beyond a dirty room or a rude host.
So let's start in Lyon, France. We have an American traveler, a guy who books a place. It's a new listing, not many reviews, but the few it has are positive.
And it's cheap, right? That's often the hook.
Very cheap. Hosted by an older couple, maybe mid-60s. Seems perfectly normal.
Okay, so the classic setup. Price is good. Hosts seem nice initially.
Right. The first night, they even cook him dinner, share some wine. Really friendly. He's tired from traveling, has a little wine, goes to bed, falls asleep pretty fast.
Sounds fine so far. Standard nice host experience.
Until the middle of the night. He sort of wakes up, registers a flash of light, then another one.
Like lightning.
That's what he thought at first.
Sure.
But then nothing. No thunder. Just silence after the flashes.
That's weird. That little detail that makes you think, wait a second.
Exactly. So he properly opens his eyes, and they're there.
Who's there?
The hosts.
Yeah.
Both of them. Standing in his bedroom.
No, just standing.
Standing there. They're wearing masks.
Masks. What kind of masks?
Latex masks.
Yeah.
Of like old people's faces, but distorted. Grotesque, exaggerated features.
Okay, that's deeply unsettling. Nightmare fuel, really.
And the woman is holding a camera. That's what the flashes were. They were taking pictures of him while he was sleeping.
Taking pictures? Why? Wow.
Yeah.
The violation is immediate. And the masks just add this layer of calculated creepiness. It's not spontaneous.
The man, the husband, starts moving closer to the bed. The traveler's just frozen, completely freaked out. He finally asks, what do you want?
What did they say?
The man's voice, muffled by the mask, just says, "You're dreaming."
Oh, come on. You're dreaming. That's pure psychological manipulation. Gaslighting him right there.
Exactly. And then the man starts backing away towards the door.
But he saw something else, didn't he?
Yeah. Just before the man left the room, the traveler saw something metal in his hand. A wrench. A big metal wrench.
A wrench. Okay, so it wasn't just about photos or some weird fetish maybe. The potential for violence was right there. Concrete.
That's what snapped him out of it. The masks, the camera, the "you're dreaming," and now a weapon. Adrenaline just hit him. He grabbed his stuff and bolted, ran out of the apartment, didn't stop.
I don't blame him. The ambiguity is terrifying. What were they planning? Was it some ritual? Just a bizarre fetish? Or something much darker? The wrench suggests they were prepared for.
Yeah.
Well, anything.
He went to the police, of course. But what could they do? It was his word against theirs.
Yeah.
No physical evidence. The photos were gone, you can bet on that.
And Airbnb.
Apparently, they didn't do much either. But the listing did disappear from the site pretty quickly after he reported it.
So they knew, or at least they didn't want the liability, but the system ultimately failed to provide any real recourse or justice. It's chilling.
Absolutely. Okay, let's shift gears now, but stay on this theme of violated trust and access. We're going to Seoul, South Korea.
Yeah.
This story comes via the cousin of an Airbnb host named Nari.
Right, and Nari was a host who dealt with a lot of guests, right? High turnover.
Yeah, she hosted frequently, saw all kinds. But there was one guest months before the main incident who really stuck out. A guy named Mr. Park.
What was his deal?
Yeah.
Creepy, balding, unsettling vibe. Said he was there for a week on business, but it's what he left behind that really set off alarms for Nari.
Oh, what did he leave?
After he checked out, Nari found, a fake plastic vagina. A masturbation aid left right next to her personal soap in the shower.
Wow. Okay, that's not just messy or forgetful, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
A deliberate violation of her personal space. It's like leaving a calling card, almost. Marking territory.
Exactly. It totally creeped her out, made her much more wary about guests afterwards, understandably.
Yeah, that's a huge red flag. Someone testing boundaries, showing complete disrespect.
So fast forward a few months, Nari has to go out of town for a weekend, business trip. She leaves a spare set of keys with her cousin so he can check in the next guest, a young woman named Sumi, or Sue.
Okay, standard procedure for hosts sometime.
The cousin checks Sue in on Friday. Everything seems fine. But later that weekend, he gets this nagging feeling. He thinks he sees Mr. Park, the creepy guest from before, hanging around near the apartment building. At a local shop, he kind of brushed it off, thought maybe he was just being paranoid because Nari had told him about the incident.
But it wasn't paranoia, was it?
Not even close. Monday morning, like 6:30 a.m., bang, bang, bang,
Yep.
Violent pounding on his door. It's the police. 2 officers looking very serious.
What did they want?
They were asking about the woman staying across the hall in Nari's apartment, Sue.
Oh, no.
He immediately runs over there. The door to Nari's place is already slightly open. He pushes it, and the scene inside is just chaos.
What did he see?
It wasn't robbery. It was destruction. The TV smashed. The couch slashed to ribbons. A laptop looked like it had been melted onto the floor.
Yeah.
Just sheer violent rage.
That kind of overkill suggests something personal, not just theft.
And then the smell. He said he immediately knew. The smell of death.
Oh, good God.
The police were right behind him, but he pushed past them, forced open the door to the spare bedroom where Sue was staying, and he found her. The violence was extreme. She'd been attacked with a knife. Repeatedly. He said it was nothing like you see on TV, just brutal, horrifying reality.
That's sickening. Just awful.
The investigation quickly figured out Sue had likely been killed on Friday night, not long after the cousin left.
So she was there all weekend.
Yes. And the police found something crucial. Another spare set of keys to Nari's apartment. A third set.
A third set? How?
Mr. Park. When he stayed there months before the creepy guy, he'd made a copy of Nari's key.
He duplicated the key, so he had access the whole time.
Yes. He wasn't there on business. He was scoping the place out. He'd apparently been lurking around the area for weeks, maybe longer, just waiting. Stalking Nari's apartment.
Using the rental as a way to get access and information, that's predatory planning.
They caught up with Park, and he confessed everything. Turns out his wife had recently left him, took the kids.
Yeah.
He said Nari reminded him of his wife when she was younger.
So Nari was the intended target.
Yes. He didn't know Nari would be away. He didn't know Sue would be there instead. Sue was just tragically in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Because he had a key. Because a simple security measure failed. That's terrifying. Nari was spared by pure chance.
It shows how something as simple as key control, something maybe taken for granted in the rush of short-term rentals, can be exploited with devastating consequences.
A complete breakdown of trust, weaponized access. Truly horrific.
Okay, for our last story, we go to Bangkok, Thailand. This one involves a structural element, almost like the building itself was part of the threat.
All right.
This involves a young group, a 19-year-old guy from London and his female friends. Again, looking for somewhere cheap to stay.
And again, the warning signs were there early.
Absolutely. The place was down a really narrow, dark alley, no lights. The building itself was tiny, looked really run down. It had a bad vibe from the start.
Budget travel sometimes leads you to places you maybe shouldn't be.
Definitely. And then there was the host. The traveler described him as small, sort of hunched over like a jockey. And he had this weird, crooked smile that just felt wrong.
Okay, creepy host figure. Check.
His behavior was off, too. He offered them Cokes, but the bottles looked dirty, like maybe they'd been refilled. And he was apparently getting a bit too close, physically, to the women in the group. Made them uncomfortable.
Multiple red flags waving right there. The location, the building, the host's appearance, his actions.
But, they booked it. They were there. Social awkwardness, maybe. They stayed.
It happens. It's hard to just walk away sometimes, even when your gut is screaming.
So the next day, the young man, the narrator of this story, gets really sick. Bad stomach bug. He heads back to the apartment with one of his friends, Helena. She decides to take a nap, take some strong sleeping pills because she wasn't feeling great either.
Okay.
He decides to take a shower. The bathroom is tiny, really small. He's a tall guy, like 6'2", so it's already claustrophobic.
Right.
He finishes his shower, goes to open the door, and it won't open. The latch is stuck or jammed or broken. He's trapped inside this tiny, steamy bathroom.
Seriously, trapped in the bathroom.
Completely trapped. He starts banging on the walls, yelling for Helena. But the walls are thin, partitions really, and Helena, out cold from the sleeping pills. She doesn't stir.
Oh, man. So he's stuck and his friend is unconscious just outside the door?
Exactly. He tries the little window in the bathroom, but it's like sealed shut, painted over or something, no way out. He's stuck there for, he thinks, about 2 hours, panicking.
2 hours trapped in there. That's awful. Helpless.
And then it gets worse. He hears someone come into the bedroom.
Helena finally woke up.
That's what he hoped. He starts yelling her name, but
Yeah.
then he hears the bed creak, like someone heavy sat or lay down on it.
Yeah.
And then laughter. A man's laughter. Loud, kind of aggressive.
No, not the host.
He shouts out, "Who's there? What do you want?" Laughter stops for a second, and someone replies, in Thai. He can't understand the words, but the tone is menacing, threatening.
And Helena's still asleep right there.
Still asleep. The man just starts laughing again, his horrible laughs, for maybe 10 minutes. Then silence.
Just silence. What was happening? The psychological torment of that. Knowing someone hostile is in the room with your vulnerable friend and you can't do anything.
It's unbearable. He's going frantic, trying to break the door down, but it's surprisingly solid. Just as he's about to really lose it, he hears more voices outside the apartment.
His other friends.
Yeah, the rest of the group returning from their day out. He screams for help, tells them he's trapped, tells them someone else was in the room. They manage to break the bathroom door down.
And the room.
Empty. Helena was still fast asleep, totally unharmed. Nothing was stolen.
So the intruder just left. Probably heard the other friends coming back.
That's what they figured. And they were convinced it was the host, the creepy jockey guy. He must have slipped out when he heard the others returning.
But that raises so many questions. Did the host deliberately rig that bathroom lock? Knowing the guy was tall and would barely fit? Knowing Helena was drugged? What was he planning to do?
Exactly. What would have happened if the other friends hadn't come back when they did? Or if he'd known Helena was totally alone? It's terrifying to think about.
And like the first story, when he tried to warn people, write a bad review.
The listing was gone. Poof. Disappeared from the platform. No trace left.
Another instance of the system allowing potentially dangerous hosts to just vanish and maybe reappear elsewhere.
So 3 stories, 3 different kinds of horror,
Yeah.
but all stemming from that same core issue, right?
Yeah.
The vulnerability inherent in these platforms.
Absolutely. You've got the psychological aspect, us ignoring red flags because we want a good deal or feel awkward. You've got the physical security aspect, who really has keys. How secure is the actual space?
And the platform accountability aspect, how easy is it for bad actors to operate and then just disappear when things go wrong?
It really highlights that we're often trading verified, standardized safety like you'd expect in a hotel, mostly for the idea of a more authentic or cheaper experience. But that trade-off comes with real risks.
The truly chilling thought is how someone can take a system built on convenience and trust and twist it to violate privacy, instill terror, or worse, in a place you're supposed to feel safe, even temporarily.
It boils down to the fact that you're placing immense trust in a stranger, mediated only by an app and some reviews, which, as we've seen, can be misleading or easily manipulated. It's a gamble every single time.
Something definitely worth thinking about next time you're booking a stay. It's been, well, a pretty dark deep dive today.
Indeed. These stories are extreme, but they serve as potent reminders of the potential dangers lurking beneath the surface of the shared economy.
If these accounts held your interest and you want to explore more documented cases of true horror, please do check out our other work.
And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. It really helps us keep bringing these stories to light.
Until next time, stay aware, maybe double check those locks, and definitely read those reviews with a critical eye. Stay safe out there.